Here's my tip, just to make a long ramble short. Just don't make the same mistake I did. Do not do. What's up, idols? It's Cece Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I do videos and vlogs about my life in Korea as a foreigner. As of late, I do K-pop content, story times about dating, teaching, and clubbing in Korea. If that sounds like something that's interesting to you, then please consider subscribing, because doing this for 4 years and I'm still trying to grow, still trying to work on this, still trying to get better. This video is going to be pretty brief. I just want to give you guys some tips. It's a Korea related tip. Whether you're thinking about studying in Korea, moving to Korea, visiting Korea, we need to talk about banking in Korea as a foreigner. I'm gonna tell you which bank to avoid, because it's the one that I have now, and the bank account I should have got, that all my friends was telling me to get, but I'm stubborn and I don't listen, so I learned the hard way. Also, I just wanted to ask you guys a question of the day. As my 30th birthday is looming next year, I was just really curious about, I asked this on Instagram too, and I just want to know how people feel about getting older. So if you had the choice to be young and look old, or look young and be old, what would you pick? Like, I'm always curious, do people more so miss the feeling of their youthfulness? Like, oh, I have so much ahead of me and there's so much I can do because I'm still young? Or do you miss like the appearance of being young? Like, oh my god, I don't have wrinkles, I look 21. You know, I'm really curious about how you guys feel about that. So that's a little question of the day. Answer in the comments below and we can talk about it. So first of all, one of the questions I get the most is, do you have any problems or difficulties using your foreign bank or overseas bank, non-Korean bank, card, whatever, in Korea? And until this summer, I really haven't had any issues with that. As long as it's a MasterCard or a Visa card, I've never really had any issues, but I don't know what happened over the summer. Like, there would be random times where, if we were at Brooklyn, for example, that club we always went to, I would buy some drinks, no problem. Sometimes I would use it and he was like, sorry, no, like saying my card didn't work, and I'm like, where's my money? So I checked my account and it's still there, but sometimes my card wasn't working. Whether you're planning to spend time in Korea as a student, if you're planning to go just for a visit, if you're planning to go and move there, I do recommend getting a Korean bank, and you can do it with your passport. So let me just walk you through my process with banking in Korea. First of all, for those who don't know, I was an English teacher in Korea for 2 years. I started in 2017 and I went through the talk program. It's no longer a thing. I'm really sad about it because it's really a great program. So we had orientation, and a part of the orientation is like, not only do they teach you how to teach, but they also teach you about the culture, and they also help set you up, like with your housing, your banking, residency cards, things like that. So there was one day where we all got brought into like this big conference room, and it was all these like bank people that kind of just sat us down literally around like the world's longest conference table. And we all had to bring like our passport, IDs, and they gave us our bank books, they gave us our debit cards and all that stuff. Now the thing is, the bank that I don't recommend anyone getting as a foreigner is Nonghyuk. Nonghyuk Bank, It is very tempting because there's many branches, so it's very convenient. Like, ATMs are everywhere, bank locations are everywhere, but they're not very foreigner friendly, and it is a very complicated process to have a bank account in Korea, especially when you're a foreigner. Yeah, they set you up, they say bring your passport, we're gonna get you guys all bank accounts, because depending on the country you come from, you might have more difficulty using your bank or your debit card, your credit cards in Korea versus if you were from another. It all depends. So the thing is, with this little debit card they gave us, it didn't have the little chip in it. So it's basically like a little starter card you might give a 12-year-old to spend for emergencies. You can't use it online and you can't use it outside of Korea. And that's the situation if you make a bank account with just your passport. So if you do go to Korea and you want to make a bank account and you're not planning to live there, it might be a good idea. That way you can just keep a little bit of money in your Korean account. You won't have to worry about this ATM not accepting your card, or certain like fees, overseas fees. Sometimes like when you spend overseas, your bank will be paranoid and lock you out, things like that. So I do recommend getting a Korean bank account, just not Nonghyuk. During orientation, we didn't have our ARCs yet, our alien registration card. This was like March of 2017. Before I had work, one of my friends, she speaks a lot better Korean than I did. She went to the bank with me. We went to Nonghyuk because I figured it would make more sense to just kind of stick to the same bank. Back then, I didn't know I'd have the same problems I'm having right now. So ignorance is bliss. We made the bank account. It took hours, like it took a long time. But I was able to finally get a little MasterCard, and it had the little chip, so I knew I could use it online and overseas. And at the time I was still a student, and I had student loans I was paying off and stuff, so I needed to make sure I could get my money from working in Korea to my American bank accounts without having to worry about transferring, and it was a really complicated process. So I was like, yeah, let me just get another bank account. I really didn't think much of it because that was 2017, and the card, like the expiration date was this year. It was just September 2022. So it seemed like forever away. I was like, who knows where I'll be then, if I'll still be interested in Korea, so I wasn't even really worried about it. So then fast forward a year. In 2018, I started to do YouTube videos. At the time, that was my main bank account. Like, I wasn't really transferring too much. Everything was just in my Korean account. So when I opened my AdSense, that's the account that I used. As I realized, look, this card is expiring real soon. I says, you're gonna have to do something about this. So over the summer, I decided to go to a Nonghyep bank. I asked them what my options were. I was like, look, I still come to Korea every year. I don't live here anymore. I don't work here anymore. But can I still keep my bank account? Which, yes, I was still able to keep the bank account. That wasn't the issue. She offered to give me the little starter up card again without the chip that you can't use online or overseas outside of Korea. And I was like, well, that's not really gonna do me any good because I was not about to be in Korea. I was gonna leave again. So I didn't do that. I was like, you know what, whatever. Bria told me, oh, you know, you can use apps like SentB to just transfer. Like, you can do a wire transfer from your Korean account to your American account. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I can just do that. I Googled, I asked you guys on Instagram, like, do you know a service, like, if I can use to send money from Korea to the US? Like, none. If you don't have your ARC, your bank account is all but invalid unless you're living in Korea and trying to spend your money in Korea. So even though it's me, I still have the ARC number. It's expired, so it doesn't count. It's still me. I tried to call. They wouldn't take my verification over the phone. They didn't believe me. I don't know what it was, but Nonghyep is very stressful. So I did end up having to make a new AdSense account. I haven't been paid since September. So then I'm waiting and waiting, and when I finally get the balance, it's only October's income, not September. So I emailed them and asked why. They told me they sent it to my Korean account. So I'm like, oh my God, my card expired in September. I have no way of accessing that money. So my friend Bria is gonna try to go to the bank for me on my behalf and see if there's something we can work out. Here's my tip, just to make a long ramble short. Just don't make the same mistake I did. Do not do Nonghyep. It is very, very complicated, especially if you're overseas and you need to try and access it or you need to try and update it. You can't even do online banking without an ARC. Like, even if you had an ARC at one point and it expires, it won't work. So like, I opened my account with an active, valid ARC in 2019. It expired. I thought, you know, this card doesn't expire until 2022, so I should be fine. Nope. The bank that I recommend for foreigners is KEB Hana. I think that's the bank most of my friends chose, because when we first went to the talk program, all my friends, we had to do Nonghyep. But you know, once you get there and you get your ARC and you're living there, you can do whatever you want. You can open another one if you want. Most of my friends chose KEB Hana. My dumb ass stuck with Nonghyep. So that is my tip. If you are going to Korea and you're gonna be a student, you're gonna travel, you're gonna move there, and you want a bank account, KEB Hana. Do KEB Hana. They're very foreigner friendly. Over the summer, I heard Bria all the time talking with like, oh my God, hey, thank you so much for your help. Like, they have dedicated foreigner lines. They help you through every process. It's very accessible, even when you're not in Korea, because she spent some time, like holidays and stuff, taking a break in the States, visiting her family. She had no issues with getting her bank info. So that is my tip. It's just a casual Korea tip. Don't make the same, avoid Nonghyep. Unless you're planning to permanently reside in Korea, avoid Nonghyep. Short video. Thanks for watching if you did. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.